Tiamat emerges in Mesopotamian tradition as a primordial force whose presence predates the structured cosmos, a being rooted in the earliest conceptions of existence found in the Babylonian Enuma Elish. To understand her role, we must imagine a world before time, where the boundaries between matter, darkness, and divinity were indistinguishable. In this mythic landscape, nothing existed except endless waters, vast, intermingling, unshaped. From this limitless expanse came Tiamat, the embodiment of the saltwater deep. Her name, likely connected to the Semitic root thm meaning deep or abyss, carries linguistic echoes across the ancient Near East. The Hebrew Tehem reflects the same primordial ocean, suggesting a shared cultural memory of an ancient, formless sea predating creation. Yet only in Babylonian myth does this abyss take full anthropomorphic shape, becoming a deity with intention, personality, and mythopoetic presence. Tiamat does not stand alone in the cosmic beginning. She mingles with her counterpart Apsu, the freshwater deep. Their union represents the merging of complementary forces, the mingling of salt and sweet waters, and from this convergence the first generation of gods is born. The earliest part of the Enuma Elish presents Tiamat not as a monster or a threat, but as a maternal matrix, a foundational womb from which existence unfolds. She is a nurturing presence, flowing, formless, timeless. In these early scenes, creation is portrayed not as a violent rupture, but as a gentle unfolding, an organic blooming from the primordial waters. But like many mythologies, the Babylonian epic quickly moves from harmony to conflict. As the younger gods grow in power, they disturb Apsu with their noise and disorder. Irritated and threatened, Apsu resolves to destroy them. Tiamat, however, resists. She defends her children, refusing to let Apsu annihilate his own divine offspring. This early portrayal reinforces her role as a guardian and protector, as the stabilizing force in a universe not yet governed by order or law. Yet the story turns dramatically when Apsu is slain by the clever god E. His death ruptures the equilibrium of the primordial waters, sending shockwaves through the cosmic structure. A profound transformation occurs within Tiamat. What had been a generative maternal presence becomes a force of vengeance. Scholars often debate this dramatic shift, interpreting it variously as a literary necessity, a theological reorientation, or even a reflection of changing political power in Mesopotamia. As Babylon's influence grew, so too did the prominence of its patron gods, and earlier deities like Tiamat were increasingly recast as obstacles to be overcome. Enraged by Apsu's death, Tiamat unleashes creation once more, but in a different form. She fashions terrifying beings, dragons covered in shimmering scales, serpents with venomous fangs, raging storm demons, and nightmarish amalgams of beast and spirit. These creatures, born from her fury, embody the chaotic potential that had once flowed gently through her. She appoints Kingu, her chosen consort, as the leader of her divine army and grants him the Tablet of Destinies, a powerful symbol of cosmic authority. In doing so, she challenges the younger gods, asserting that the primordial forces still hold sovereignty over creation. It is at this point that Marduk emerges, not only as a divine warrior, but as a reflection of Babylon's rising political dominance. The Enuma Elish was recited during the Akitu New Year festival, a ritual meant to affirm social order and celebrate Babylon's supremacy. Marduk's rise to prominence within the myth mirrors the rise of Babylon within the physical world. He steps forward to confront Tiamat, but only after the other gods agree to grant him unparalleled authority. If he succeeds, he will become their king. If he fails, chaos will consume the cosmos. The ensuing battle between Marduk and Tiamat is one of the earliest and most influential examples of the Chaos Kampf, the cosmic struggle between order and chaos. This motif appears across world mythologies, in the battles of Zeus against Typhon, of Baal against Yam, of Ra against Apophis. But the Babylonian version is unique in its complexity and cosmogenic function. Tiamat represents the boundless, undifferentiated waters, the raw potential that must be shaped for creation to take form. Marduk embodies the imposition of structure, boundaries, and hierarchy. Armed with commanding winds, Nets woven with divine craftsmanship and weapons forged by the younger gods, Marduk confronts Tiamat. Their clash is depicted with grand, elemental imagery. The winds fill Tiamat's vast body, distending her form and rendering her vulnerable. Marduk pierces her, and in a moment that defines the cosmos, he splits her in two. This act is not merely the defeat of a monster, it is a creative operation. From the upper half of her body, Marduk fashions the heavens, stretching her form like a canopy across the sky. From the lower half, he forms the earth, establishing the solid ground upon which life will unfold. The aftermath of Tiamat's defeat shapes not only the cosmos but humanity itself. Kingu, who held the Tablet of Destinies and led Tiamat's army, is captured and executed. From his blood, mixed with clay, Marduk forms humankind. This detail is crucial. Humanity is created from the essence of rebellion, from the lifeblood of a defeated god. This positions humans in a paradoxical role, born from chaos, yet destined to serve order. Humans are tasked with laboring for the gods, maintaining the structures that Marduk has established, ensuring that chaos never again overwhelms creation. Scholars have long explored the deeper meanings embedded in Tiamat's narrative. Structuralists argue that her story represents the universal tension between undifferentiated potential and structured reality, a symbolic negotiation that underpins all creation myths. Feminist scholars examine the transformation of Tiamat from nurturing mother to demonized monster, interpreting it as a mythic reflection of patriarchal ascendancy and the displacement of older goddesses by male storm deities. Political theological interpretations emphasize the epic's role as a legitimizing document for Babylon's empire, framing Marduk's supremacy as a divine mandate for the city's dominance. Tiamat's legacy extends far beyond ancient Mesopotamia. Later cultures reinterpret her in dramatically different ways. In medieval writings, she becomes a symbol of primeval chaos. In modern fantasy literature and role-playing games, she appears as a colossal, multi-headed dragon goddess, an image vastly removed from her original form, but rooted in the same idea of overwhelming cosmic power. These reinterpretations reveal how enduring her mythic resonance is. The Tiamat of the Enuma Elish, however, remains a potent representation of the moment when the limitless potential of the primordial deep gives way to the structured, ordered universe. Her story is not merely one of conflict, but of transformation. She embodies the threshold between chaos and creation, destruction and birth, freedom and form. Through her, ancient Mesopotamian thinkers grappled with profound questions. How does order arise from disorder? What must be sacrificed for structure to exist? And what remnants of chaos continue to flow beneath the surface of the world? In this sense, Tiamat is not truly defeated. Her presence lives on in the very fabric of the cosmos, in every ocean, every storm, every moment when order seems fragile. She is the reminder that before the world was shaped, it was fluid, boundless, and full of possibility. And it is from that boundlessness that all things ultimately emerge.